It begins, sweeping orchestral music. Welcome, all ye Haven followers. It is I, Father Atir, with my fellow disciples.
Father Adrian / Blank.
And Daddy Div.
Okay.
Oh boy, you
Anyways,
ruined it.
we are in the presence of the Holy Trinity of Goddesses versus the Demon Slaying siblings. Genesis 7:17, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and we're all still thirsty for gameplay. So let's get to it.
That was great.
Alright, so thank you, Squeegee, for lending us your deck. Actually, playing the deck with us against me, playing Tanjiro and Nezuko. Squeegee was the first one to build the Goddess deck. He built it really fast. So let's see how interesting the deck plays.
Yeah, the old... We already did like a SAO blue. Everyone was pretty sick of it, so we went with the old switcheroo with the siblings.
I have no idea what goddesses do, so you guys are gonna have to explain everything.
The main thing about...
What is that, a zero cost? Oh.
Yeah, that's a zero card Asana. The main thing about the Asana and Sinon deck is, so it consists of the Asana raid, which depending on how many life you have, she has effects. So if you have 4 or less life when you raid, her raid effect is it can swap a character from your front line with a backline, generating 1 energy. So the backline character needs to be a 1 energy generating card, and it rests them on that turn, and they cannot move the following turn. So you cannot push them up, or if, let's say, in this case, Tengen is in front and you want to step him back, you won't be able to step him back.
Yeah.
So it has the potential to energy lock you, but against Tanjiro, it has the potential to not let your Tanjiro with an impact swing or your Nezuko swing that can swap a Tanjiro.
So you don't get like extra swings.
Like her conditions are like, it's one of those instead effects where like she can, as long as you pick 2 characters, and then like with Divs that has one or less generating energy, you can rest them and swap them. But if you have 4 or less life, you may swap them, and then they cannot move until next turn effect. So you need to be at 4 or less life to get that effect.
And as you can see, Luigi might be at 4 life, but this is a very optimal play for the Goddess deck because that's when it starts to mainly shine. What Luigi did here, he played the Leafa Goddess card, which when you take a life, when you play it, it becomes a 6k, cannot be targeted by your opponent's or character's abilities or triggers from life. So basically it's protected, and it becomes a 6k as well, which clearly blocks the Tanjiro impact, which is a really good card.
Yeah, sorry. She's like your saving blocker. Like, she'll save you games. Like, she won't be there to attack with the 6k, but she's there to block for next turn.
And she also has nullify impact.
Yeah. She's like the ultimate defender.
And this is the Sinon raid. So Sinon raid also has a couple of abilities, depending on how much life you have. So if you have 6 or less life, she gains 500 BP, so she becomes a 4k. If you have 4 or less life, she gains snipe, and if you have 2 or less life, she has impact every time. The snipe is only when played.
Yeah.
But the plus 500 and impact is as long as you have that life, you meet the condition.
You really want to save it for like the end game, or like once you're at 2 life, you can like get full benefits of her abilities to snipe and impact instead of playing it early and like wasting it early.
So I did hit a life. I did hit a special in my life, but I couldn't delete the other Leafa because it was protected by its ability. So I had to remove the Leafa that we had played a turn earlier. Here I did raid. The Nezuko, the Tanjiro. There's gonna be a weird scenario where I won't be able to switch characters depending on what I want, but this was a big turn, 3 massive raids.
Yeah, this is like the ultimate. This is what you want for like a Tanjiro player, like this setup.
So he blocks with his 6k, and then when he swings 4k, I'm thinking who can I swap my Tanjiro with, but I cannot swap with the Nezuko because she's stun locked because of the Asuna rune. So I had to move my Tengen up, which was in stun.
Yeah, because I think Nezuko can swap with. It has to swap a Tanjiro in the front line, but it can swap with anything in the back line.
And then he hits another Asuna on the back line where he removes my Impact 45 and brings the other Tanjiro with the other Nezuko back up.
Well, yeah, here's that'd be tricky because like that Nezuko can't move, so he has to like the Tanjiro in the back. Yeah. Because it's the only one that's not generating more energy.
I can't move the Nezuko because she was stunned from the previous raid, and I can't move the Tengen because he's double energy.
Yeah.
So I had to bring my impact front, which could be favorable to me, but it depends because if now he has a special in hand, he removes my impact off the board.
Because generally, when it we would protect that Tanjiro because he always has impact as long as Nezuko's on the board. The other one just only gets it when played for 2 turns.
I see. Yeah, and it's cannot always trumps over can. So.
And this time he has 2 life, so she has snipe and impact. He specials my impact Tanjiro, which I said again, and Adrian said you have to protect it. It wasn't protected. He snipes my Nezuko, 2 of my key pieces of the deck gone, and he takes a life that was a non-trigger. So a really good turn. Again, it's an impact because 2 life.
No raid target. Yeah, so for their goddess special, it's do you know what the conditions are?
So you can, what the goddess special does is it's only optimal if you're less than 4 life.
Oh, okay.
If you're not less than, so you only want to hold it in your hand until you have less than 4 life. So it's kind of like House of Horror from Ashford, where it can only sideline if you're less than 4 life.
Well, for Ashford it's 3k, I think. For 4 life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For this one,
I think
it's you can just rest it if you have 5 or more, but then if it's 4 or less, you sideline it. Oh, 5k.
Yeah, that could actually be pretty helpful anyways. Like, does the resting have to be a certain BP, or is it get any cards?
It's 5K.
No, you can rest anything and it'll be stunned.
5k or less. 5k or less.
Yeah, 5k.
Okay, that's pretty good. Just if you don't have, if you're like need a win and you want to rest something, that'd be a good idea too.
Yeah, unless you have Saitama, then it's kind of.
Okay, well we don't know. We really know about that monster. There's another Nezuko here.
So the Leafa comes into play there because nullify impact.
Yep.
And then I swap the Tanjiro with my Tengen up front. It's very weird to see 3 Tengens up front when those are the ones you want to keep in your back line.
You got step.
I mean, they all have steps, so.
Is that a winner Tanjiro?
So they can always move back.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's the winner Tanjiro.
The rare battle one.
Had to put in a lot of work for that one, but yeah, we have it.
You hear this?
Funny story.
2-2, right? Yeah, it's 2-2. Hey. Sorry, go ahead.
I had actually misplaced this deck for about 2 weeks and couldn't find this deck, and I was very worried where it was, and only to find it in one of my winter jackets, which were packed for the summer. But I'm glad I found it, so we could shoot this video.
Such an odd spot, but yeah, I remember you freaking out about it. Now you like never get it out of your sight.
I keep it next to my bed.
It's partially why you wanted to play this deck too, because you want to show some love to that deck so you don't run away.
Exactly.
Don't leave me again.
Yep.
Yes. But he specials my Nezuko, which is, again, I can't switch now. He's really taking care of my Nezuko as well, which is what I think has been my downfall this game until now.
Yeah.
And
she's like your engine. She's the reason why you're able to attack so many times.
Yeah.
So it's smart.
There's a lot of board control out here. Looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with snipes and resting, pretty good.
I only have 1 card in my hand, and he does have 2 impacts at this point, so I think he has game. If I don't hit any, if he doesn't hit any.
Yeah, he has to be careful about what he.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't have 4 blockers next turn, he could also lose.
Yeah. he uses the event card that a lot of decks don't run. But basically, the event card is you can choose two things. Either you can choose one of your character on your opponent's front line, and one on the energy line and switch them to resting, which is what he did, and swap them. Or you can just choose one site on your opponent and delete the site. So what he did was he rested my thing. The character on the one important key here is the character on the back is the one that needs to be not a double energy generator. If the front is a double energy generator, you can still swap it.
Yeah, I was just to mention that. That's why he was able to swap or rest and swap that thing.
So he hits no rate target.
Depends on this for game.
Final!
Oh my goodness.
This is why it was important to have that fourth blocker. You never know.
Yep.
Because honestly, if you didn't have a third blocker, he's at 2 life, right? Yeah. You would have to. You could just push everyone up. You got one impact. You have one attack going through, and it even impact the last one. Thankfully, he did that well.
So I do step my Tengen back, and then I play another Tanjiro. And I think I raid the Tanjiro.
Oh, that's aggressive.
Because I was like, I have to win it. I was like, at this point, I have game. Double impact.
But unfortunately, that Tanjiro needs Nezuko on the board to get impact.
Yeah.
So he only has 1 impact. This does not have impact at all. It's just a 4K, so you can just block that normally.
He blocks that too, and then he takes this one.
Yeah, might as well.
Impactful.
He
hits an active. So
I would definitely ask my opponent like how many finals are in your sideline. Because like this is where it is a 1-to-1. You hit one already, but you never really get another one.
Special is my 45k blocker, which would have blocked my impact. One of his impacts.
Yeah.
Then he raids in the back.
Rest.
Which is very smart, honestly. But he just rests because he can't swap my double energies.
I mean,
yeah, a lot of people.
No, I think I would still push her up for extra. If this is somehow
another one,
a final to final.
To final,
because they both have the Xeons both have impact. So like, if it's somehow a final to final, and that way he would lose next turn.
Yeah, that's when you ask how many finals you have in your sideline.
For sure.
I think the main thing playing against this deck was, I would say like I need to have key pieces on board because I know that the Goddess deck is going to restrict my movement, so I need to think ahead of that. Make sure that I have the pieces on board. Even though I will be stunned, I can still play around.
Having double generators will definitely make it harder for him to able to have that not be able to move or swap ability. Yep. But yeah, unfortunately, the deck for your deck or Tanjiro deck is a lot of swapping, so kind of counters that.
Great game for Squeegee. Thank you for showing up. And that's our game.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Please, like, comment, and subscribe. For all you followers, please. We need your help.
Let us know. Let us know what you want to see next game. Do something.